The adventurers have come to White Sparrow, a small village, where they are looking to investigate some rumours of goblins and hobgoblins, and maybe lend a helping hand. It's been a while since I uploaded, I think over a year now, the last one. I'm not going to say these are going to come out more regular now because life gets in the way sometimes, but I hope to be pushing more of these out again. I hope you enjoy them. Let's join the adventurers in White Sparrow.
Like old Tom's farm burned down like a couple of weeks ago. I think you don't really know, but you could probably get directions if you wanted to go to the farm. Or I think someone suggested going to sheriff to see if you could get a reward or something. Or I don't know.
What's this building? It's like a coliseum.
Is a temple. It's not a coliseum.
So we can't fight online.
Yeah, I guess you just learned from the innkeeper the landmarks. So you've got the keep up on the hill here. It's obviously a different keep. This is the keep, like White Sparrow Keep, where the Lord of White Sparrow lives. And then you've got the inn here, is the big rickety building in the middle. And you've got the Temple of Light over here, which is your sort of standard fantasy temple place. You've got the Outfitters here, which is where you can buy things. You've got the tavern here, which is in the shade. It's the Ever Shady Tavern, and it's in the shade of this giant hand. And there's also the sheriff's, which I don't know which building it is. It's not clear. Like, let's say this one. It's not exactly like this map's particularly accurate for navigation or anything. It goes from west to east across the top there. It's like pretty mind-bending. To my mind, that should make all the buildings really narrow, right? Because they're all squished in. But they all look like they're really wide. Like you can see round every. Well, I guess you can see around every side of them. It's really confusing to me. Like you can see 180 degrees on this drawing.
Yeah, I guess they're weird, kind of circular shaped buildings in reality.
Yeah, let's go see the sheriff.
See if we can get a reward.
A reward? Yeah, sure. The Sheriff Ruth Willowmane.
See if he has any more information as well.
Yeah, okay, so you go to see the sheriff, and the sheriff is in her office. Yeah, she's like a middle-aged woman who you can see that she's basically she's had a martial upbringing. She's been a soldier all her life, and now she's kind of settled down to be the sheriff of this town. And she's, I guess, is everybody going? Is there like, how many of you are here? Like 4, 8? Is there like 8 people all storm in? Or does some of you wait outside?
I'll stay at the tavern.
Oh, okay. So you're at the inn. Are you going to the tavern from the inn? Or are you staying in the inn? Just to clarify.
All right, I'll go to the tavern then. Just have a beer while everyone else is talking.
I think Bull will go to the temple, I think. Anyway.
Okay.
Well, Fancy will go to the sheriff then.
So Fancy goes to the sheriff.
With Angry. Fancy and Angry.
With Angry. It's almost like they're the same person. Never see one without the other. So, okay, so the sheriff sees you come in. He says, yes, can I help you? Would you like to report a crime?
No, we're interested in maybe helping. We hear there's an issue with hobgoblins.
Got all the deputies I need, thanks. No vacancies at the moment, I'm afraid.
We hear you've been having a bit of a problem with hobgoblins in the local area.
We always have problems with goblins and hobgoblins. I must admit, they've become more organised recently.
More organised? Yeah, generally find hobgoblins are pretty organised.
Yeah, it used to be. We used to get trouble from the brownleaf goblins who live in a cave near here. And they'd attack us. But recently, those same goblins have become a lot more organised. They seem to know where especially they're hitting trade routes. They always seem to know where the most valuable convoys are and when to attack.
Oh, okay, that's
interesting.
Interesting news.
And we began to see hobgoblins mixed in with goblins.
Whereabouts would we find this cave with these goblins?
So she says, let me look at the map actually. I think it's to the south, but she tells you where they are anyway, and it's somewhere nearby. But no, let's say it's to the west, over sort of near the Tomb of the Serpent Kings, but it's a little further along the river, so it's in the hills there. That sort of seems like a sensible place for some caves.
Yeah, because we heard we heard some homesteads were being attacked and people's livelihoods were being burnt.
Yes, the attacks on farmsteads have increased as well. There's only so much my deputies and I can do.
We might be looking for work and if we were to help with this hobgoblin problem, I mean, is there any kind of reward associated with that?
I may be able to authorise a reward on behalf of Lord White Sparrow. How much would you ask?
Oh, this question. So
We don't ask for too much. But,
it's a pittance, so it offends them.
Enough to cover our expenses, and a bit more to make it worth our while. I mean, how many days travel is it? It's pretty close.
Yeah, it's less than a day's travel.
It's a day's travel, so you probably want at least a day's expenses each, and then maybe double it or triple.
A day's expenses is like 10 silver.
Yeah, but per person, though.
Per person, yeah.
I mean, if we asked for like 300 silver, would we be unhappy with that?
Yeah.
It seems a bit of a low amount as a reward.
Maybe we start high and see how high she'll go.
It's never satisfactory.
Well, if we ask for a high number, then I suppose...
And they never haggle either.
That's true.
They never haggle.
No, it's always like, 200. I'm offended, I'm going. I went in high.
Maybe we should make it like a charisma check to see if you can, and I'll just, if you want, I can determine an amount and we can modify it depending on how well the charisma check goes. And just do it mechanically if you want. If you don't want to get into us just haggling, like as if it's real life.
Yeah, that might be easier.
Awesome. Well, what if we say that she will give you 500 silver, but so you can do a charisma check. And let's say if you get 16 plus, then I will give you 750 silver, and if you get like five or less, then you will get 250 silver, and then you can still walk away. It's not a binding contract or anything.
What if we nat 20 or nat 1 it?
Nat 1, then no money at all. Nat 20, you get 1,000.
Sweet.
Right.
Nice. I've also just haggled the rules for haggling.
Yeah. Make a charisma check. Like using charisma, not your characters. So then,
oh shit, that's -4.
I'll contest it with my own charisma, which is -2.
Does it have to be, or can Asima do it?
Who actually turned up?
I only know Fancy and Angry going to the sheriff, although in fairness, he didn't say what his characters were doing. So
I did not know. I was going to go.
I'll allow him to be. He'll have quantum characters and just be there if he wants them to be.
Yeah, just wondered.
Yeah, sorry. I meant to say that I was there.
That's why I did all the talking, because I didn't think anyone else went.
Yeah, my mind had about 2 or 3 of us just in the room at the same time.
But you need to make sure it's in all of our minds, so that we all have a consensus on what's going on.
True.
Right.
That's how role-playing games work.
You're true.
We use words so that we all gain a sort of common mental image of what's going on.
Wait, so you guys haven't been getting my telepathy?
No, unfortunately
that only works over the table.
Oh, yeah, of course, in person. You haven't added telepathy to Discord yet.
Fancy's charisma is +1, so I'm guessing someone's got better than that.
No, actually.
That's pretty good for this group, isn't it? +1.
Yeah, +1 is probably the best you're going to get.
With proficiency. Okay.
What's the proficiency that you're using?
Well, politics.
It's a stretch,
Insight?
but I guess you could get politics in there depending on the argument you used. You could probably do. Yeah, okay, I'll allow it. Let's go.
Either that or insight.
Okay, well that's fine.
They are kind of vague terms, so it implies you can use.
Yeah, I think you could get politics in because you could imply more of an urgency to get this sorted out, right? Like you could be like,
You've answered the sheriff
election. It's not going to look too good for the sheriff can't sort out this and all this. Think of all the money you're going to lose if you don't sort it out. For every goblin you see, there's like 10 you're not seeing. That's ooh. No. So it's all a waste of time. It's your 500 silver to deal with the goblin problem.
A fair deal.
What's that? 20 silver each.
There's only 8 of you at the moment, so a bit more.
Okay, just have to hope there's some actual loot.
Okay.
So you said the cave is off to the west.
I think we'll just hand wave it. I don't know. She says, does anyone have some parchment? And then she gets a bit of paper and draws you a map.
I mean, do we need to go look at the farmsteads now that we've got that information? I mean, we could just head straight there, depending on what Bull and what's his name are doing in the tavern and the temple.
Okay, so what did you want to do in the temple? Was there anything you wanted to do?
No, there wasn't anything in particular I wanted to accomplish.
You meet Elevin Sorisong, the elf priest of the temple.
Blessings to you. Could ask what the gods have bid.
The gods have bid.
Yeah, like if they need anything doing,
And we can haggle them for money.
And then you can haggle them, yeah.
might have to pay them. So I give them a
She,
silver.
she doesn't like have any jobs here, so
Hmm.
she's more like a standard kind of priest that just kind of hangs out in their church and sort of ministers to the local populace and tries to make sure they all believe whatever she believes and that type of stuff. Gets collections, that sort of thing. If anything, she probably wants you to give her some money.
Yeah, I gave her a silver. I put it in the collection.
Oh, nice.
Wish them well or whatever.
It seems like there's a church with no roof, which is nice and everything, but not that practical.
It's appropriate for a church.
Yeah, well, it's because it's the temple of light, and I think it lets the light in from like not having a roof there. But
Clever.
I
Good idea.
guess when it rains, it's like everything's shaped so that all the water runs down and makes a river down the middle of the church, and it makes like it falls over like little waterfalls and makes nice sort of running water music. But it has no significance to the plot. So if that's what you were looking for, you didn't find anything. I'm just gonna come out and say that. Cool. And then, did you just want to get a pint at the tavern? Was there anything you were trying to achieve there with your character?
No, I was just going in there to hang out while the diplomacy was going on.
Basically, there's like a beer garden here that's in the shade of this huge hand. So it's tipped over like that, and that provides shade in the beer garden. And then there's like a bar that's sort of rounded that goes around the wrist of the hand, and that's where they serve the drinks from outside. And then there are these like nets on ropes full of foodstuffs hanging from the fingers of the hand, all around the bar. And then there's like feats out there and everything. So you get yourself a couple of ales out there. I think it's pretty early, so it's pretty quiet. Like the tavern's probably only just opened. Do you want to head out? I think you'd probably not get much from the tavern unless you were to wait till later in the day when people turned up. Then you might start to overhear things or meet people. But at this time of day, there's not a lot going on. So did you want to head out now to the caves? Is that the plan, or is there any other business in town? Or
I'm happy to head out to the cave unless someone else has something pressing they need to do.
the cave mobile? Wonder if I have a picture of a cave. I'm getting prepared. Prepared. Where's your flag gone? Did we leave it in the keep? It's like that, is it? Okay, so there's a ford here that you were using when you went to the Tomb of the Serpent Kings before, and this side of the river there's not much in the way of inhabitants. Just the dead side of the river where the tomb is, and not a lot else. It's like the darker side of the white brick, I think. So you come to the cave. I don't have a map for it, but the brush has been trampled down and worn over a long time, so there's like bare soil and mud, but you can't see anything in the way of footprints or anything like that. It was raining a few days ago, so it's difficult to tell. What do you want to do?
So how far away from the caves are we at the moment?
How you want it to be? I was imagining there's like some underbrush and stuff that you're kind of hiding in, and then a short distance away is the cave, clearly visible. You're kind of skewered behind cover and stuff, but
Okay.
up to you.
Yeah. Observing for a bit, seeing what we can see.
How long do you want to observe for?
So
So it took you a couple of hours to get over there, and maybe an hour asking questions around town.
what's it? It's about midday now.
Yeah, maybe 11 o'clock.
I reckon if we observe for like 2 or 3 hours just to see comings and goings, see if we see anything suspicious,
Okay.
see if there seems to be any kind of routine or anything.
So you wait there, and you do not observe anything. Nothing coming or going.
Oh wow.
No, nothing. Literally nothing. It's just you and the cave.
So there's no signs of life in the cave entrance.
What's happening? Good evening.
Hello.
All right.
Usually.
All right, now
How are we doing? What are we doing?
we
Went
found
to the
out.
sheriff, 500 silver to deal with the goblin problem and White Sparrow there. There've always been goblins, brown leaf tribe of goblins. Who
Oh.
you know that their long time hideout is these caves to the west. They've been around for a really long time, bothering the people of White Sparrow, but recently they've become more organized and they started to increase attacks on farms. They've been seen goblins and with hobgoblins, and they've started to attack trade caravans and things on the road, and they seem to have an uncanny knack of knowing which ones are the most profitable ones to attack.
Okay.
So you've gone to look at the cave, which is the hideout of the brownleaf goblins, which is a couple of hours away, and then you've spent about 3 hours outside watching to see if you see any signs of life, but you didn't. So it's about
that
2
over
in the
here, is it?
afternoon. Yeah.
Right, so
Okay.
we've got anyone stealthy who wants to move up.
Oh, thief.
Yeah, have a look in the entrance. Because as far as we can tell, there's nothing there.
There's no stealth.
Any volunteers?
What do you need for stealth? Is
Harrison?
it dexterity?
Yeah.
Yeah, Varuson's a thief. Varuson's stealthy.
Yeah.
His proficiency.
Oh, if you've got proficiency, go for it. Yeah.
Like,
So
I
I
think
guess it's-
by virtue of being a thief, you already are like more stealthy and more well suited to this type of stuff than other classes, basically, even without the stats. Okay, so Varison is going to go, right? Okay.
I guess so. Yeah. So
So Varison creeps
for
up
traps.
to the cave mouth, being very stealthy, and reaches the cave mouth, looks inside, and you can see appears to be there's like one big chamber in here, possibly a side tunnel that you can't see down, but in the main chamber that you can see in front of you, there's no signs of anyone moving, no inhabitants, no goblins or anything like that.
There's sort
What
of
you
the
can see,
entrance
but it's
itself.
kind of gloomy inside because obviously the sunlight only penetrates so far. There are no lights on it there. So
Does it look well trodden, like the ground around the entrance?
it looks like it's been worn down by a lot of activity because there's not so much grass, there's like bare mud. But there's not really any footprints in the mud or anything. So there's that. So yeah, to see more, you'll have to like maybe you light a torch or creep further into the cave. Yeah, you can't see anything dangerous right now. No goblins or anything.
Yeti's going to sort of creep in and watch out for any. Do the usual thing, like watch out for any traps as he goes, and just sort of go sort of listen out for anything that might be going on as he goes through,
Okay.
see, and see how far he can kind of get really.
Cool. Yeah, so he creeps in. There's the side tunnel, it turns out, is very short, and there's just a sort of small. And then there's one main chamber which is deserted. There are no goblins here. I don't know if he wants to call the rest of the group in to search the cave, or whether he wants to conduct a search himself, or whether there's something else you want to do.
Yeah, I think I'd be inclined to, if I can see well enough, to have a sort of a bit of a search. Yeah, again, trying to just being stealthy in case there's anything there, but kind of watching out for anything trap-like. He's sort of searching suspiciously. On
Are
the
you going to
watch
use
out
a
for-
light, or are you still in the dark? Or
So that main chamber's just completely dark now, is it? Is that right?
yeah, except for the sunlight coming in through the tunnel, through the cave mouth.
Oh, okay, so am I able to search it without a light? I guess or are you just saying it's pitch black? Apart from that little bit coming in.
It's not pitch black, but it's not very
Right.
easy to see. It's going to take you a
Yeah.
while to search without a light. So it seems safe. So if you want, you could use a
Okay,
light. You could call
maybe
in
I'll-
more people. You can search quicker. But if you're worried about that, then searching without a light by yourself is going to take like an hour or something, probably.
Yeah, sure. I haven't got any source of light, so I guess I'll have to make my way back out and call the others in, I think.
Okay, cool. So everybody goes in. You light up a light. Someone shout if that's wrong. You can now see inside, and you can see that there are no goblins here. There's no other obvious exits to the place. It just seems to be these two chambers. There's a lot of like discarded rubbish, bones, and things on the floor. There's a burnt out fire in the center of the room. That's kind of it. Like it looks like it's abandoned. Do you want to spend a while searching?
I guess that's why we're here. There are
Go
no
through the
people.
whole cave.
Might as well.
I'd like to stay outside and keep watch.
Keep watch. Yeah. Okay.
Seems sensible. And
Wow.
watching up the hill as well, not just down the hill, right?
Yeah. Keep watch. There are no one comes to attack during this searching, so that's all good. Inside the cave, you find there are no other kind of hidden exits or anything that you find. This seems to be the whole place. You find what do you find? Yeah, all you find is a piece of paper, like piece of parchment that has been partially burned in the fire, but it's still part of it is legible. It appears to be written. I'm gonna like hand wave like languages in this, like I've been doing consistently. So it's like everyone speaks the same language because it's more convenient that way. But basically, it's like orders. It's like instructions. That orders that have been issued from the 9th cohort of the Hobgoblin Occupational Army to the Brownleaf Goblins, but
Right.
most of the orders have been destroyed. So you can only make out the top part where it's like from to. You know what I mean? And like and the date and whatever crazy goblin numbering system they use. And then it's like you are henceforth ordered to burned.
So they've obviously packed up and gone somewhere else, probably based on these orders. But they're still attacking, so they're not. So they're going to be somewhere close, aren't they? Well,
Yeah. So these goblins have been involved in increasing attacks that are more and more organized.
I'm interested in the thing about knowing where the valuable stuff is. It's like insider information. That's what I find interesting about what you described, Gareth.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we've got to
where
find
kind of
out.
like-
I think what we might have to do is go back to the White Sparrow, speak to the sheriff again, and ask them if they know of any valuable carriages going out, and we can sort of go out with a caravan disguised as just like work hands.
Or who would actually have any idea or have access to any of the information about what's going out and when? Because I feel like we kind of need to kind of try and find out, who would know that information, and then see if we can like draw in the net. It's going to blatantly got some sort of insider going on, but then
So
actually.
you're gonna return to White Sparrow.
Yeah, I'm just talking, as part of the group or whatever. It's like I'm wondering. Well, so what's the plan though in terms of if we were to find the insider? What would we do about that? Maybe we talk to someone at White Sparrow who could potentially reward us if we manage to find out who this insider might be. Like tell them about our idea and say, well, if we can find who it is, would you reward us?
I don't know who, because for that I'd say the sheriff, but he already knows.
Where the hobgoblin is on the map by the field, that's where the farm that was burnt is, isn't it?
I mean, I just chucked that symbol down ages ago, so that it was like a prompt. But yeah, to the east, so that's as good as place as any. Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, like I say, I'm thinking we try and draw out an ambush, go out with a valuable cargo, disguised as just merchants travelling or whatever.
It doesn't have to be an actual valuable cargo, surely.
Yeah.
Leak the information.
But we go out disguised, and then when they attack us, we take prisoners and try and get information.
Yeah, clever.
So you return to White Sparrow. It's now pretty much dinner time. So
Dinner.
I guess you're gonna go to the inn to get a meal and an ale. Yeah. And then what do you? So you're back in the town.
I guess we're interested in the.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess our aim here is to see if we can overhear anything that might indicate, someone blabbing off about something. You know what I mean? Is anyone interested by the fact that the hand has got 5 fingers? Did you mention that explicitly, Gareth, or is that kind of?
That's a good point.
Yeah. It has 5 fingers.
Also made of stone and coming out of the ground.
I think you've seen in your time in the town that there's a lot of earthworks and a dig down there to try and get to one time White Sparrow wanted to dig down there and figure out what was down there, and there's actually more of the arm, and they kept going and gave up when they got to near the elbow, and it just seems to keep going down, and there wasn't anything down there, and they kind of lost interest. There's
Interesting.
a big pit down there with this arm going into the earth, as if there's a giant buried under the ground. Yeah.
The most rowdy place is more likely to have people mouthing off shit, right?
So the ever shady tavern is probably the more live of the two.
That would be a
Whereas
good
the inn is more business. It's like people who are on business and they're coming through, merchants and things. On the road, this is a place they're stopping off. They want somewhere to sleep. Whereas the tavern is more for drinking.
It kind of feels like for me, the tavern you're more likely to have locals, right? So
Definitely.
That's where I would kind of be like, is there any shady locals? Whereas if the inn's more like just people, like you say, who are coming and going, maybe that's less likely for us to have anyone in there that meets our criteria. But
I'm guessing.
Disagree.
Should I do a wisdom check to see whether Fancy decides he really wants to go to the inn?
You're stealing off other people's plates.
I think what makes sense is if you all go back to the inn and have your dinner, and then you've got the evening if you want to do another thing afterwards.
Okay.
If you want, you could see if he's able to leave the inn, or whether he just can't stop eating bread if you want. Yeah.
That's what I'll do, just to see whether we can actually get out. He's stuck there. Oh no, he's stuck there for the evening.
Does that happen? Does he steal off other people's plates?
No,
he's just like, you're gonna finish that,
yeah.
You're gonna finish that pie, and the other person's only just had it arrive. They just got into it, and he's like, "So you're gonna finish that pie?"
Basically, by the time we leave, he's gonna have he's gonna have like 10 rations because he's gonna buy so much bread while he's there. Now that
He's going to eat so much bread that he doesn't need rations for 3 days.
How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing rations? I've not been keeping up very well with rations. I must admit, a bit slack on that.
Okay, cool. So sounds like Matt, your at least one of your characters wants to go to the tavern. Sounds like one of Morg's at least fancy is stuck in the inn.
I think Link's kind of thinks that's the good place to go. So he's trying to convince everyone that that's kind of where we'll find information.
Okay. Does anyone not want to go to the tavern?
It's probably useful to have people stay with Fancy though, because
Well, just to see that he doesn't get too out of control. His bread lust.
Put Paul with him.
Bread
Come back, and the whole place is all turned over, and there's like tables on their sides, and a small fire in the corner, and he's just there, like covered in crumbs.
Because it's bread and beer that he's addicted to.
Yeah.
So he's like in his element. He's just there.
He'll never leave again. His character's gonna just have to be retired.
But yeah, he's in there.
So if everyone else is going to the tavern, is anyone going to any third location that we should be aware of?
Do you think we should rename him Wheaty?
Wheaty Bow. Yeasty.
Yeasty. Yeah, I did think of Yeasty.
It's got the wrong ring to it.
Yeah.
It's a yeasty fellow. More yeast than man. He freed the yeast. Cool.
Yeast
so in the
yeast
tavern, like
yeast.
I get you kind of want to overhear stuff, but usually if people are up to no good, they're probably not going to just blab it about it. So probably.
I think obviously Varison's quite sneaky, and he's got good. What's his proficiencies? Obviously stealth, deception, senses. So I guess he's sort of like trying to, sort of get into a little corner and make himself not be seen, and sort of try and see if he can overhear some conversations. Link's a bit more kind of like up front, going to be like, I don't know, sort of trying to just sort of say hi to the locals and sort of not be very charismatic. Basically, this is where we need Varghast, isn't it, Mr. Charisma?
Yeah.
So I guess you could overhear some conversation about that there's so you overhear that there is like you overhear some people who are basically the guards. They're employed like mercenary guards for the caravans traveling on the road. So they're part of the Lion Roar Company of wagon guards, and you overhear a couple of them talking about what work they've got on and everything, and one of them is saying that there's a shipment going out tomorrow. Well, there's a shipment stopped here overnight. It's going out, continuing its journey tomorrow, containing like silks. That's quite a lucrative cargo, and so that's a rumor that you overhear, basically, that there are these Lion Roar Company wagon guards are protecting wagons, and that there's a shipment going out tomorrow on the road.
Just wondering if there's anything we want to do with this. We could obviously kind of go and try and go out with it, or go out ahead of it and try and be around for when it's sort of going around to where they've been attacked before. Or I think I'm quite interested in, like I said, like who's sort of feeding the information, I think we could get some cash out of that potentially.
See whether it gets ambushed on the way.
Yeah, what I'm saying is we don't necessarily need to be the ones that are being ambushed. We could try and like find out where the route is and kind of think, well, where would they be ambushed, and like where could the goblins be coming from, and that kind of thing.
That's a lot.
Try and ambush the ambushers.
That'd be a lot of speculation.
What do you mean? So presumably they have a route. So it's sort of like going out and trying to sort of almost find, assuming that the information gets out and it's going to likely to be attacked. It's like, well, okay, rather than letting ourselves be part of that ambush, we can try and like ambush the ambushers.
If we get the place wrong and they get ambushed and we're nowhere near, that's what I mean by speculation. It's like, we're with it, then when it gets ambushed. But if we're training it, do we let them know we're training?
Yeah, I was thinking that we could almost be like, not necessarily, like if they're going down like a main road or something, like we can sort of go out to the sides and kind of like see what's flanking the road, and kind of I think it depends on knowing the route. If we know the route, we can probably look for where the likely ambush spots are, and then try and like get sort of around.
But it's like, do
You know
we
what I
let
mean?
them know we're going to be out there doing that, or are they going to start thinking, oh look, we're going to get ambushed by us?
The information might get out that, like, the person who's leaking the information might find out, and you know what I mean. So they could actually tell the goblins or whatever what's going
Yeah.
to happen.
Because if
Okay.
we start asking questions and then shadily follow them, they might start getting a bit worried.
Well, I think that's. I'm more concerned. I think about the.
So, anything else this evening you wanted to achieve, like under cover of night or anything, or are you gonna all sleep at the inn and do something tomorrow morning, or what's the next move
I might buy some bread.
for the road?
Yeah.
You don't need
Yeah, I mean you can obviously you can buy supply here for things that would be like commonly found in a medieval kind of village. So clearly you can buy rations here.
Yeah.
I just think that it'd be interesting to try and find out who might be feeding the information to them. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's like, how do we do that? Because I think the easiest
So the
way of
guards-
finding that out is stopping an ambush.
So you wanna
how
follow the convoy and then see if it gets ambushed?
I mean, how does following the ambush get us that information?
Well, if we get some
Doesn't-
prisoners, question
Yeah,
the
but
prisoners.
they might not even know, right? Because they might just be whoever's feeding them the information. They might not know. There might be just like one. You know, it's not going to be like they're not all going to know who the insider is. Likely, are they? I think it's kind of
No, but
going to be
I'm
quite
not
secretive.
sure how else we're going to be able to catch out there.
Well, I think that I was sort of thinking about like who's going to have access to that information, right? So, you know, you said Gareth
Well,
said about the guards, sort of
A whole
guards
caravan
seem
of
to be-
guards at the moment, isn't it?
yeah. So there's sort of like the guards and stuff like that. So it could be sort of one of them or something. I'm sort of interested about sort of I don't know, like as sort of the evening goes on, like seeing if Varison can kind of like sort of see where some of the guards go and what they do. Perhaps when they leave the tavern. I don't know if have we got any other thieves or anyone else around who can be stealthy?
Rarity, then both Rolf and Eastlaw are fairly stealthy,
What's
but they don't have proficiency.
Is that sort of like you mean they've got reasonable decks?
I think they're both +3 dex.
It's good if it comes to a check, I guess.
Yeah, it's
So,
not proficiency, but it'll do.
Okay, so Barrison follows the guard after he leaves the tavern. Is that?
Yeah, how many guards are there, or is it just one that was talking to somebody else?
Yeah, they're like two guards talking to each other. One of them,
Okay, yeah.
one of them
So-
saying that they're going on the thing tomorrow, like to the other one. They're like colleagues, but they're obviously
Yeah.
working on different jobs or something. So they're like talking shop, and he's saying, "Oh, tomorrow I got to head out with this convoy and blah blah blah."
I think it'd be good if we followed both of them. So Varison take the one that maybe the one that was talking, and I guess if one of your guys wants to maybe follow the other one.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense.
Okay, so you follow them, and let's see, they're just guards for that. Okay, yes. So actually, they leave together, and it's pretty late. They head out together, and you follow them to the Lion Roar Company kind of building. There's like a company building here in the town. It's quite a largish building, so you imagine it's like got accommodation in it for them. Like it's like a kind of almost a barracks for these guards. And so they both go up to the front door, and then one of them has a key, and they open it and go inside.
Is there a chance to like go after them or anything? If they or they just lock it behind them straight away?
Yeah, I mean they come in, shut the door behind them, and then they're going to lock it right afterwards. So if you were going to do something, it would have to be pretty quick and pretty overt. Like you'd have to rush the door or something. Otherwise, like it's going to be difficult to slip in. Can you imagine when someone comes in?
Of course.
Comes in at night, they generally shut the door behind them and lock it.
What I mean,
Like-
what I meant is whether they do actually end up locking it or something. Whether it's sort of
Yeah, they lock it.
Yeah. Okay.
They're not that drunk. They are guards. It's that sort of thing they do.
Scar guards.
They probably have to fill in a logbook or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see the HQ for the place. I think you noticed that there's a light still, like that. They go in and then the light goes out. It's all dark, but you notice at the other end of the building there's a light still on. It's pretty late.
I think we'll go over down that end of the building and see if we can find a way to snoop.
So
I think
maybe
at
you
this
creep
point- I think at
down.
this point, I
You
think this-
and so it's Varison.
no. So I think at this point, Varison's kind of like, let me just go and have a look, and I think
Okay.
I think with having more as like if we need to split off or something, but Varison's got the
Okay.
stealth, hasn't he? So let's have
Yeah.
him.
So you want to do you want to sort of spy on them or spy on whoever's
think-
in there? And,
I think initially see if we can listen in and see what's possible. Really, it depends what it looks like. Whether I can look in without being,
So I think
without being seen.
you can creep over and peek in through the window.
Yeah.
And you can sort of see underneath the curtains in a crack or whatever, you can see that there's a couple of people in there. There's a man who's probably in his 30s, who looks quite well built, and another person who is an elf who's taller, more slight figure wearing a cloak, but you can't tell what they're discussing. They're talking to each other.
Is there anything else of interest that can be seen? Is there sort of can you see like money being anywhere or?
I think there's some money on the table. It's difficult to see any more without through the window. Are you going to continue to watch them, or are you going to head off, or what's the?
Yeah, I think let's just see if they just wait a little bit and see what happens. I think it's gonna maybe because maybe leave it like I guess up to like an hour or something. See what
Okay.
happens.
So after a while, they seem to reach an agreement. Like someone like nod, like yeah, you can tell it's winding down, and then the elf leaves the room, and then quite quickly he exits the building, kind of almost taking you by surprise, and you're kind of concerned he might see you as he's coming out. He's shutting the door behind him and locking it. So I
Is there any
imagine
way
that
I
you kind of hide round the corner or something
Yeah.
where you can see him. And he heads off. He looks around and then he kind of heads off at a brisk walk in the other direction down the road. So do you want to follow him?
Yes,
It will
yeah.
require sort of a stealth check to try and pursue him and trail him without him noticing. And it's just you by yourself at the moment, I guess. What is everyone else doing at the moment? Did everyone else go back to the inn? Because the tavern was kind of closing around the same time, which is why the guards originally left. So it's like an hour after closing time.
Yeah, I mean, Angry's gone back to the inn and dragged Fancy to his room.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul's probably hit the hay.
They're just like, look, there's no more bread left in the whole place. Like,
There's just Angry. Fancy's just dead. Was just sort of like dead on the table, bit of bread sticking out his mouth.
yeah, just crumbs
Really?
all with his beard. And,
Like,
Frantic.
I'd have only been looking for the crumbs. It would be one of them. It'd be like, oh my god, I've missed some.
maybe he's finally
Thank you.
fated.
Tankard spilt hanging out his hand, and it's just like. And then Angry just walks in and goes, picks them up, and walks back
Not again.
to the room.
Awesome. Did everyone else go back to the inn?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think-
Soaring and
I think if I went up there with was it Varison?
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
If I went up there with Varison, I think I must be somewhere nearby, right?
I think
Yeah.
what I probably would have wanted is like I'm gonna go like investigate, but you kind of hang back in case I need some help, that kind of thing.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Varison's gonna try and follow.
Okay, so make a dexterity check.
Ooh, 19.
That's a pretty good check, I guess. Okay, so you're more stealthy than he is perceptive or whatever. Right, so you trail him and you see he is heading out of town.
Okay. Is there any way to can I follow?
You can follow him, but it's going to be a more lengthy pursuit now. You don't know how far he's going or where he's going, but you can. Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yes, let's do that.